We need to change the conversation about artificial intelligence, not to focus on the technology, but how the technology can help us to solve our problems, our societies. This is a societal and ethical conversation. This is what we are building with the Alan Turing Institute and with the UNESCO recommendation on the ethics of AI, on thinking where we are now in terms of equality, which is not really working because there is a high concentration at the top. The business model is really driven by the private sector alone. And then we think about human rights, human dignity, fairness, inclusion as a second layer of this technological revolution. It's a societal conversation, not a technological one. And we have been working with the Alan Turing to think about concrete tools to implement a readiness assessment methodology, an ethical impact assessment, a high-level group of experts to think about the issues because there are many challenges that need to be really well defined. And then we are working with governments. We're working with the policies that they can deploy to ensure that they steer this fantastic AI revolution to deliver for people.
And I think it's really important for public sector organizations to consider everything about fairness when they're deploying and developing AI systems, including equality, non-discrimination, as well as broader considerations around fairness, including in human rights.
We do have a framework in Britain to think about the equality impact of policies and decision. Using AI is a decision that some public body are making. I think it's really important that public body understand the public sector equality duty, and I'm grateful that Alan Turing has worked with us on this subject. They need to understand how this can help them think about the equality impact of using AI in a transparent, accountable way that builds trust with community, and to do that before they decide to use the tech, as well as during implementation. And that's really important.
Absolutely. The Turing workbooks are a really great addition to the resources available to civil servants and the public sector.
We need to change the policies, and that's why we are so happy about the UK Safety Summit, because people are talking about what is the duty of governments, of public institutions, to ensure that there are the regulatory frameworks, the policy frameworks that are going to steer the technological development. Because it's not this narrative that regulation hinders innovation is completely flawed, because the governments have always shaped the technological direction of the different economic sectors. How do we ensure that we do this conversation with everybody, with the civil society, with those that are not the experts? Of course, we need the experts, but at the end, it's a societal conversation.